Hello folks, Red Labor here. Hope you're having a great day. Well, I don't know if I could call it a great day. What happened yesterday, December the 11th, 2012, was a blow and a roadblock set upon middle class workers in this country. It was a war declared on working class, middle class people in this country. What am I talking about? What Republican Governor Rick Snyder did in the state of Michigan, declaring through his signing of the act, declaring Michigan a right to work state. And what this is going to do is going to affect workers for the worse in Michigan, and it's going to put a green light throughout the country to go and enact more right to work laws. The one thing we do not need in this economic crisis we're in, the one thing we do not need is a reduction of unionized workers. I was listening to Rush Limbaugh today. Something I listen to Rush Limbaugh occasionally, so when I go up here, all of you don't have to listen to him unless you want to. Call it being a glutton for punishment. But Rush Limbaugh was gloating about right to work in Michigan, and he says some things about right to work and closed shops which are emphatically not true. He claims that all right to work states are all economically ahead, and they are better, and they have a higher quality of economic life than states that are heavily unionized, which is not true. Because if that was the case, then Minnesota would be an impoverished state, while the state of Mississippi would be just bustling with economic growth and all that. And we know that's not the case. Minnesota has a lot of unionized workers, and they have a closed shop, and they have a better economic life than the right to work laws that exist in Mississippi with the low rate of unionized workers in that state. So that's just not true. In fact, most union states, their workers, if they are lucky enough to be in a union, they tend to be economically better off. Now, he makes the argument about government workers being paid twice as much as their private sector counterpart. All I have to say is good. I like workers being paid twice more. It doesn't mean that people who work in the public sector should be paid less. It means people in the private sector should be paid more. So, I mean, Rush Limbaugh, get out of here with that nonsense. And to Glenn Beck, there's nothing wrong with social and economic justice. This law that passed yesterday is a war declared on the poor and the middle class. It's a war to destroy the middle class, and it's a war to prevent the poor from joining the middle class. And I think that people should fight against this sort of thing. And I hope that this law, as bad as it is, will motivate workers in this country, unions to mobilize, social progressive forces to mobilize. And even if you're a socially conservative, right-wing Republican, whether you're in a closed shop in a union, or you're in the middle, whether you are in the union or not, in a right to work state, if your company's unionized and you're enjoying the benefits of union benefits, of the perks that comes with belonging to a unionized job, I hope that this will motivate each and every one of you to stand up against right to work. Because let me tell you, I live in the U.S. South. I live in the state of North Carolina. We're a right to work state. And I'm telling you, right to work sucks. My rights are discriminated against. It's not right that I go and pay union dues every week to go and cover people who do not belong to a union, and let them have the same rights and the same protections and the same benefits as workers who are unionized and play by the rules. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, a lot of us unionized workers, because whether your job is unionized or not, there's a certain level of bullshit that everybody has to go through. And I have noticed this trend. Those who do not belong to the union and they're mistreated at work, They are the first people that go crying to a shop steward about their problems. I've been a union shop steward in the past, and I'm thinking about becoming one again. Now, I had an approach because this is North Carolina, this is the South, and people just don't understand what a union can do for you. And I will usually tell them, come up to me with a grievance, and I'll tell them, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to go and set up, help you write this grievance, and we're going to go and try to resolve this matter, whether it's your pay or you getting in trouble or you're not getting the benefits you need to get or what have you. I'm going to help you get out of this. But I hope you would seriously consider joining the union. And leave it at that. And I would tell you, that person, if he or she gets out of this mess, and I'll tell them, you get out of this mess, I hope you would consider joining the union. But if you don't consider joining the union and you're in trouble again, I'm going to tell you, talk to somebody else. Because, I at that point, I will not represent you anymore. I'll give you a chance, since you've been conditioned to believe the unions are bad, or you don't know how the concept of unions work. I'll give you a taste of what the unions can do. But if you're still not willing to join a union afterwards, and you're in trouble again, I don't see any reason why I should help you. Folks, this is unacceptable. Unacceptable what happened in Michigan yesterday. Of all places, this is unacceptable. And if this can happen in Michigan, this will happen anywhere. And let me tell you, folks, unions, right-to-work laws were designed as the one way to try to destroy unions and ban unions without actually trying to deliberately destroy or legislatively banning unions itself. But it's the next worst thing. We do not need less unions in this country. We are 10% of the workforce in America. We are 10% of the workforce. It is mathematically impossible to go and equate unions with the downfall of the U.S. economy. In Michigan, the problem isn't the UAW. The UAW is not the problem. The problem is medical inflation caused by private health insurance company. You get rid of the private health insurance company, you resolve the problem. And to all you ultra capitalists out there that don't like unions, you guys support single payer. That in itself might help you guys out, because you resolve the healthcare question, you create non-exploitative economic growth in this country. And in some cases, a union wouldn't be necessary if you had single-payer health care. But I guess that requires too much common sense to some on the right. I would think some on the right would realize this. Some on the economic corporate right would realize this. But anyhow, to all you workers in this country, don't just sit there and allow corporate America, and do not sit there and allow the Tea Party and the Koch brothers to go and open up their ass cheeks and shit on you. Rise up, mobilize, challenge, class warfare all the way. Stop and revert Michigan's right to work laws. Thank you.